This episode is brought to you by Zazzle.com. Millions of creators, buyers, and sellers, billions of products. Use our code EVERYDRINK10, save 10% off orders of $50 or more. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Eric Schomer, and today we're going to create the Pink Fairy. This recipe comes to us from Grunge1393. The problem was that he kind of gave me the recipe, said you should mix it so it looks like X-ray diffusion a little bit, like that pink color. I don't think I'm going to get there. But I made the rest up. I got all the ingredients that he wanted in here. He didn't give me he or she, I'm thinking Grunge sounds like a guy, didn't give me the exact proportion, so I just kind of made it up and got it to where I think where you might be going with it. It's going to be a little cachaça heavy. It's going to have 1.5 ounces of cachaça. It's going to have a 1/2 ounce of dark rum, 1 ounce of OJ, 4 ounces. I can't remember the name. I was hoping it would have been
Cranberry
cool.
Juice.
Cranberry Juice. I'm like, come on!
You were stalling.
I'm stalling a little bit. So the reason that there's more cranberry juice is it'll make it a little more tannic. Is that the right word? Tannic, sour? Tart. I like it. It's going to be a little tart, I think. And it also gets that red, which is what we're going for. We're going to shake it because we can.
It's really pink you're going for.
I'm really going for pink.
X-Fusion's pink.
I'm really not thinking I'm going to get complete pink, but Pink Fairy, it's got to at least be the color pink. Right. We're going to do 1/2 ounce then of our dark rum. This is what killed it. The first thing I did is I experimented to get the color correct. And then I remembered, dark rum's going to change the color. So that kind of ruined.
So use a lighter dark rum.
It was the Black Seal is what I was testing with. So I figured if I got close, this would come out a little lighter. And since it was kind of late when I was coming up with this idea of using this recipe, and the reason I've been putting it off is when people don't give me the right measures or any measures, I tend to get a little lazy, and it takes a lot of work to go kind of figure it out. So I slack. So I've had this one for a little bit. Little bit. That was a full ounce, yep. Actually, that might have been more than a full ounce. It might have been double. We'll find out.
That would be 2.
So, yeah. Does that look pink?
Yeah.
So that might have, I might have put over the amount I needed to put for the specific OJ. Which is gonna mean I got a lot more drink than I thought. Ooh.
Unless you shake it when it's not tight.
Yeah.
Then you have a lot less drink.
Then you have a lot of drink on you. So I might almost have as a 1/2 and 1/2 here. But
as in cream?
No, as in equal parts. It's more like, no, it wasn't equal parts. It was not equal parts. Never mind. There's no way. It was 1 to 4. Even if I pour full 2, it's not equal.
No, it's half.
It's half. So it is going to probably be a little whiter right off because of the bubbles and the aeration. But that is a Pink Fairy. Realistically, you want it darker? Add a little more cranberry. Want it lighter? Add a little more OJ.
Or less cranberry.
You could detract. However, you can mix it the way you want. It's the fruit juices. You probably don't want to go too high on, like, say, cachaça or something. Then it might get a little crazy.
If you like cachaça.
You can smell the cachaça in here. Am I saying that wrong again? This is such a hard word. Cachaça. No, I said it right. I think. Brazil. Totally different. This is not as potent as a rum. Like, I picture, we need to do a tasting, but we gotta buy more of this. They have like 4 brands, I think, now at the liquor store. It seems to have been.
Did it?
Yeah, it was 1, and then 2, and then 3, so it's kind of picking up. And I'm guessing if it's doing that in a control state, then it will probably be even doing better in a state where people could buy free range. If you've ever had this style of spirit, it's got that essence to it. It's not.
That made no sense at all. If you've ever had this spirit, it's got that essence. What essence?
The taste, whatever that is, like almost like a sweet cane, but not sweet. Not as sweet as like a 10 cane would be, but on that route of how they do the rum. If you just smell the cachaça, that is kind of what you get for the taste. A good texture to it from the OJ. Not as tart as I thought it would be from the cranberry juice. And really, I think that the Flor de Caña is what I'm using here. Kind of just give it a little extra mature sweetness to it. Definitely not as potent as I thought it was going to be. Yet I think if you use a core spirit that had more burn, you'd get more burn right there because you could taste the spirit. It's just very tasty rather than put off or potency. It's tasty. I like it. So that is the Pink Fairy. Make it as pink as you wish. A little more red, a little more yellow, whatever you want to do. I'm your host, Eric Schomer. Check us out on everydaydrinkers.tv. Oh, I cut it up. We're teaching you how to drink.